Yesterday wasn't too bad for day one. A little bit disappointed with the run. At about 800, 900 foot, the car died. So we've had a few electrical issues. We don't know if the pump stopped going and then come good. But anyway, it went 11:50. Probably would have run our 10-second that we were looking for, but that's all right. We didn't want to line up again, so we just got on the road and started heading to this track. Halfway to Darlington, we hit the storm, unfortunately, and still had the slicks on, so had to pull into a gas station, change the tyres. Found out, because the car's all brand new, the wipers don't work also, which is fun. And then about another 20 mile down the road, the starter motor burnt out. So we've had a few electrical gremlins, but managed to fix it and still make it here. So yeah, fingers crossed for today.
One of the issues we found yesterday on the drive, the exhaust comes straight out and stop at the diff, and they've got no turn down, so all the hot air's just pretty well firing up underneath the back of the fuel tank, and the fuel pump is mounted there, so it's copping a lot of heat, and we're boiling the fuel in the pump, so that was a bit of an issue. So we're just making up some aluminium cans, got some aluminium cans, and just made some turn downs and clamped them onto the end of the pipes, trying to divert some of the heat onto the ground. We've got a bit of an issue with the micro switch keep turning off on the carburetor. So we've got a button here now we've hooked up, so it'll be manual now, stop it from turning on and off. Everything perfect on the drive. The thing's pretty good on fuel. Everything works, wipers and that. We didn't really have a problem with the rain. We only got the rain just as we came into into Florence last night. But we had no problem other than the vapouring on the fuel pump.
So we left our accommodation really early this morning to try and get here pretty close to the front of the queue. We were here at 6 a.m. The gates open at 7:30. We basically had a strategy last night that we fueled and tied the car last night. We had my suit and a helmet in the car, so we parked up, dropped the trailer off and got straight into the lanes. We actually got second overall in the lane, so we got the first pass out this morning. Ran a best at 9:20, so we're just going to bank that and hit the road. It's hard to say if being first is an advantage as far as the track goes, because you also don't have any rubber down, but the other advantage of that is there's no oil down either, so it's kind of a good versus bad situation. We don't really have grip issues off the line anyway, because we're not running a trans brake, so Harry's actually struggled a lot with grip this morning versus someone like us who doesn't run a trans brake. This is actually the best 60 foot we've done the whole American trip so far, so we're super stoked with today's result, and we're just going to jump on the road.
Yeah, so got to the track this morning nice and early. The plan was just get here, change the tyres, swap the fuel out. Yesterday was our first full pass of the car. We only left on I think about 4 pound, 5 pound, really soft leave. I think it was a 1.7, 1.8, 60 foot. We needed to improve on that. Mile an hour was great, almost 150 mile an hour. Dale bumped up the launch control, so today we wanted to leave somewhere around 8 pound, 9 pound. You know, it's all well and good to say, well, let's just put 10, 12 pound in it, but if you blow the tyres off the start line, you've lost the run. So, yeah, bumped up the launch control as we rolled up to the staging, up to the start line. I was just watching the engine temperature, and it was just gradually climbing, and we knew we had a new timing belt on it, serpentine belt. Shut the car off, backed it out, and the swage, the crimp on the main power feed for the fan had just separated, so there was no power to the fan. So, you know, not the time you really want to have problems when you're just about to make a pass. There's obviously a lot of tension. and there's you know, people everywhere, and there's cars revving and racing. We just quickly ran through the fuse box, found the problem. Never get tired of hearing that. Yeah, fixed the fan, got on the start line, brought it up, hit the two-step, 3800, left. Car left beautifully. 14460. You know, it's not pro stock, but it's for that car, it's our best 60, and it's a good step in the right direction. Yeah, got the end of the track, and there was water and crap coming out, and we had more of this stuff going on. So when I clicked it into the top gear, the engine basically turned off, and I was like, okay. So I got back to the pits, opened the laptop up, and the engine, the engine protection had been activated. And what had happened was, on the launch, it had actually, even though we'd put a deep oil pan on the car this year, it's actually pulled the oil away from the pickup. And so as soon as it saw 30 psi of oil pressure, it just turned the engine off. So it already had about 7.5, 8 litres in it. We've just bumped another litre in it. So I'm pretty sure that's going to fix the problem. We put a little bit more boost in it now too. I don't know that that's probably a great idea considering the track's going to be hotter. But look, let's try it and see where it's at.
We had a troublesome night. It took us 11 hours to 250 miles. We hit a pothole and something, I don't know what we hit. We thought it was a squirrel with the front wheel. It folded the wheel in on the front, so that was about 3 hours lost, beating that back out. Luckily the tyre survived, so we put that back on. Terry and the boys nailed that. What else happened? We had the rain, the rain was just something else last night. We were driving on radials in the rain and barely moved the steering wheel and things all over the shop, and yeah, it was pretty wild. So then the wagon had a few dramas. It spat the belt off. That was like 4 this morning, and yeah, we ended up pulling up at the front gate here, and it was late on the ground because we were all beat to shit, and got up nice and early, got her in the lanes, and I think we went 8.90 or something the first pass, and then an 8.8 the next pass, and we've been waiting all day. We ordered them yesterday from the boys. This is why we buy local Australian products, because we ordered them, told the boys yesterday. They've overnighted them from LA to us to fix our wastegate. So tomorrow we can wind some more boost in and hopefully get close to that 850. So just wanted to shout out to Trav Dean and all the boys at Turbo Smart and Dale Hallier that made this happen. I really appreciate it. It will save our ass. So that was cool. So we got into the hotel about 2 in the morning, and that didn't leave me much time for today to get the car where I wanted it to be. So I just did a soft one at 7.6 then. Well, on the street I run 93 octane, 87 or 89, depends on what I can get at the pump, on the pump, you know what I mean, like just unleaded fuel. And about 50 miles before each hotel, I'll run it so it's low on fuel, it just runs out basically. I put methanol in it, change the tune, I drive it to the hotel for the last 50 miles on methanol. That way when I get here, it's got methanol through everything, and you can smell it coming out the pipes. I didn't have time to do that last night, so today I just did I cleaned it out, but not as good as I could. So it was about 30% pump gas, 70% methanol, so I softened the tune up, and you can see the black smoke hazing out of the exhaust, and that's why it dropped 10 mile an hour, and it still went 760 because I come out of the line pretty good today, you know what I mean? But there's a lot more left in it once it's on straight methanol.
day 2, drag week. We haven't long got here. 2 o'clock this morning, we spat a fan belt, a bloody alternator belt. Everything started to die, so we pulled over. One of the bolts has come loose in the alternator bracket, which has let the alternator tip around and spit the belt off. And it's pretty hard to find an alternator belt at 2 in the morning anywhere, so Terry's tried to make belts out of insulated wire, bits of clothing, shoelaces, 100-mile-an-hour tape. You know, it was all pretty desperate trying to get the car on the road. So I've decided to go into bloody town to try and get one. We've sort of missed each other going backward and forward, and by the time we caught up with one another, it's been about, what was it, 10 o'clock in the morning? No, 11 o'clock. You know, I've turned up with some belts and they were wrong, only to find that there was a store 2 minutes from where we were, and then we got the right belts, got it going, got here, put the slicks on, went and staged, and the fuel pump's cracked itself, and now we've got no fuel pressure, so Nick and his crew have filled up the fuel bowls so I could go in and stage and break the beams and get my 22nd 50 mile an hour, and now we're just going to try and get the fuel pump off, see what's the matter with it. Probably a bit of crap in one of the valves. Hopefully we can get it going and get on our way to, where are we going now?